at the northeast corner of Sahara and Rainbow.
Banachek, the greatest mentalist alive. He's the #1 mind-reading act in the world. Joe Rogan calls Banachek the best I've ever seen. Banachek's Mind Games Live, taking mind reading to new heights at the Strat Hotel, Casino, and Skypod, Las Vegas.
The Wayne Coy Show, weeknights at 7 on KSHP, North Las Vegas, AM and FM, K296HB, North Las Vegas, and KSHP.com.
The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the program's participants and do not necessarily reflect those of station staff, management, and advertisers.
Ladies and gentlemen, now is the time for the host with no filter and the millennial who keeps him in check. Get ready for the stories that matter to you. It's Pushing the Limits with Brian Shapiro and Jamie D.
What's up, everybody? Happy Friday, and welcome to Pushing the Limits live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1. I'm super excited to have you all here today. Brian, unfortunately, will not be here today, but he'll be back this upcoming Monday, so look out for him. I just want to remind you all that this is my last show with Pushing the Limits. I will be headlining my own show soon, coming in a week and a half, so look out for that. However, I want to hop straight into the show because we have an amazing guest today. We have Kara Jenkins, who's running for Las Vegas mayor. What's up, Kara? How are you? I'm going to have you move your mic a little bit closer to your face.
I said, what's up,
there we
Jamie
go.
T, TJF. You know it's a Friday. I can't get the mic right. I'm out here working.
Right.
Working, brother.
Listen, I'm super excited to have you here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So before we get into this segment, I want you to introduce yourself and tell listeners why you're running for Las Vegas mayor.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity. Hi, viewers. My name is Kara Jenkins, and I am running for Las Vegas mayor in 2024. So that's next year. It's about 11 months out from when I officially file. But the primary reason I want to run is because I feel like we're at a time now in Vegas where we need to see new leadership, fresh ideas, have more accessibility to government, and get young people more psyched about government, and really execute ideas that make sense for people, and not just have politicians that just talk the talk, but actually walk the walk. And I believe I'm that candidate.
Okay, love to hear it. Let's start with the obvious question then. Why do you think you have what it takes to be the Las Vegas mayor? You said that you want to get out here and be for the people.
Yes.
But detail that for us.
Okay, well, what do I have? I think that one of the qualities of a good candidate is someone who is a people person, someone who actually enjoys public service, and so I'm going to talk about that. I've been doing public service, Jamie D, since I graduated law school in 2003. I'm dating myself. I am not a millennial. I am Gen X. I thought I was a millennial. Then I looked it up. I'm like, oh, no, I'm Gen X. But ever since I graduated law school and I was in the law school clinic helping people and then working in my government professions in legal and here in Nevada as the Equal Rights Administrator for the state, preventing discrimination for people who are looking for fair employment, for accessibility in schools. It's really tied to who I am as a person, and I think that that's what makes a really good leader. First off, that you have to want to serve, and your purpose driven for service. Your motives have to be intentional in doing good and helping people, and then you have to have the energy and the drive to get it done and work collectively with both sides of the aisle to make stuff happen. And I'm an experienced mediator, and I've been doing that for over 10 years, mediating cases. And I think I have what it takes to bring people from both sides of the aisle to find that common thread of humanity that we all have, to want to live right, to put our kids through school, have a career, start a business, have my own radio show, have your own radio show. If you come to Vegas, you should be able to live well. And so that is my mission, to make sure that future generations have the same opportunity I had when I moved here.
Okay, Kara, you have a great and hefty resume. I love to hear it. I'm excited for you and your candidacy. Can you explain to us how your experience and expertise differ from the other candidates who are currently running for mayor?
Well, I think what separates me is that I'm not a career politician. I've been a public servant. I like to really make that designation that, again, I'm really rooted in service and solution solving, problem solving for the betterment of people. The other candidates, I don't really want to speak to them, if that's okay. I'd like to talk more about me.
Period.
what makes me stand out.
Right.
One of the things that I have, and I'm very blessed with, is a team that it gives me very honest feedback, and even my family, when I talk to them about why I wanted to run for office, they ask me very pointedly why.
That's important.
You have parents who were strict in military and just dedicated to service. My parents very similar, very structured, and just you know, they wanted to know why. And really, it was really good to have that level of truth around me. I'll say that. And so they checked my motives at the door. And when I was thinking about why I wanted to run, it was really based on the fact that during 2020, we saw a lot of cracks in government. If you didn't have internet, if you didn't have a house, if you didn't have access to health care, you were really marginalized. And so I see that as a problem that needs fixing, and I'm here to roll up my sleeves and do the job.
Now, you just mentioned you see problems that need fixing. You want to roll up your sleeves and do the job. That's amazing. We need a mayor that is on the field actually handling true business with the civilians of Las Vegas. Can you express to us the issues you are seeking to tackle if you do become mayor?
Yes, when I do become mayor, when I
you
will
better
become
speak
mayor,
it into
I
existence.
am manifesting.
Listen, I got to let you say it.
Thank you, Jamie D. Well, one of the things is, yes, accessibility. You will have an opportunity to see me. It will be more than just ribbon cuttings and ceremonial accoutrements.
Okay.
You will see me out there working with people, talking to people, sitting and visiting in coffee shops, small business owners, helping people access capital and equity to start their own business, and then also where it makes sense, right? Because government should be for the needs of people based on where they are in their lives. So if you are experiencing homelessness or you need more wraparound services, it's really imperative that government sets those institutions or facilities up in place where you can go access those services, and that we can meet people where they're at with their needs. But if you're a small business, you just probably want equity or the freedom to start your own business and run it with as little interference as possible. You just want to, start your dream and be an entrepreneur. So where it makes sense. But yes, I will be one of those mayors where you will see me a lot.
That makes sense. Now, you're pinpointing businesses a lot, which is awesome because you want to have businesses that put back into the community to help grow Las Vegas because that's what keeps us running.
Yes.
However, I want to get to an issue that I find to be truly important to the people of Las Vegas and just for me as well, as someone who did just move here less than a month and a half ago.
Welcome to the city.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. It's been an experience so far.
It's been an experience. We'll have to talk offline.
Right. Look, that's how I met you, through experiences.
Oh, wow, yes.
So
yes,
I did read in your bio that you want to create a safe and affordable housing plan for Las Vegas residents.
I do.
How do you realistically plan to achieve this, though?
Oh, wow. There's so many other cities doing it. Well, I feel like guaranteed income is a potential opportunity that we can look into. There's other cities that participate in that where certain people at a income level are guaranteed a certain threshold level of income every month. And studies have shown and data has shown that people don't just spend that money. They actually use it to maybe get a babysitter so they can work extra hours or that they can put their kids into tutoring programs, and that elevates a family, especially single family-led households. So there's other stuff that's being piloted that I would like to also tap into and work with other mayors collectively. Another issue that you'd asked that I didn't really get to, Jamie D, was what are some other priorities, and it's safety. Safety is huge because if you have a business, you want to keep it safe. You want to keep citizens who live in the city where I live downtown, I live in Ward 3, you want to keep it safe. And so safety, we will support our law enforcement or the marshals so that they can make sure that everybody can come here and have a good time or live here and not experience crime. So we have to make sure that there's a balance of having a good time, but also feeling safe in a city where you can have a good time and run a business and not have it vandalized or anything bad happening to all your investments here. We want people that encourages people to come here.
That's truly important.
Yeah.
However, I'm really enjoying what you're saying, but I gotta tackle you a little bit because I want you to truly outline what does it mean providing the citizens of Las Vegas with jobs to gain money. What does that truly look like?
That's a great question. It means being open and using your platform as a mayor to encourage venture capitalists to come into the city to invest in our businesses. It means really leveraging and being out there and telling people, hey, you want to start a business here, you need to come to Las Vegas. I mean, it sounds maybe like it's a fun job, but it's not. It's really connecting with boards and other stakeholders and saying, hey, no, come here. And it's not even the forward-facing businesses. It's the behind the scenes, the construction companies, the developers, folks getting equity in bids so that they can, have city contracts. Also, affordable housing looks like, looking into groups like Boxable. And having small homes zoned in the city. So fresh out of college students or people who have a certain fixed income can afford a really nice place to stay in a very safe and efficient, environmentally efficient space where they can call home, where rent or your mortgage is maybe $200 to $400 a month. Yeah, I said it.
Okay.
Yeah, and so those are some of the things that we want to look at doing. But I would also really rely on my team and also task force, other experts in the area to inform me. A good leader doesn't just lead, right?
Facts.
A leader listens to good counsel. And so I would rely heavily on that, and also work with the other ward councils and see what the needs are with their districts. The mayor's role really is a bridge to all the collective needs and finding that common solution to boil it down so that we can get stuff done.
I hear you.
And it may, you can start with goals, but hey, if you knock out 5-6 goals, hey, it's a good day.
I hear you. So
Yeah.
one thing that we see to be true, excuse me, my allergies are killing me today. One thing we see to be true is that a lot of candidates wait until they're mayor to actually implement their strategies.
Sure.
Can you talk to me about how you're trying to implement your strategies now to truly show the citizens of Las Vegas you mean business?
Well, Jamie D, that's a great question. I'm actually having a lot of conversations behind the scenes. My current role is state administrator under Governor Lombardo right now. So I have to really, I walk a fine line of just making sure that I'm honoring my state duties as the administrator for equal rights, but then on my off time that I'm actually meeting with stakeholders and talking to people about how we implement plans and asking people to be a part of my team down the road. And so that's a little bit kind of kept quiet right now, but more stuff will roll out and develop as we get closer to the election. And actually, one of the things that I love seeing is after you see elected, Obama did this, your first 90 days, your first 180 days, you track progress. And so we will have very similar benchmarks in that.
Okay, I see you. Now, we do have people who are commenting live on social media, as you know.
Are they? Hi, everybody.
Yes.
Please comment.
Kara's,
Can they see me?
Yes, they can see you. This is live on many different social media platforms, and we have a lot of people who are commenting live who actually want to call in and ask you some questions.
Sure.
And so I will open up the phone lines at 702-221-7283. However, before I go to our first caller, I do want to ask you 2 more questions.
Sure.
You said that you want to start on the ground and truly show people how you want to create businesses for them and create capital.
Well, not create businesses for them, help support their dreams to create a business.
Okay,
so I want to be real clear about that.
Okay.
Whatever business ideas or dreams you have, we want to foster that.
Okay.
We want to be the fertile ground for you to plant the seed of your business and grow here and make the city even better. And we want to make it inclusive for everybody, not just certain people. Everybody, if you have a business idea.
Okay, I love the way you explained that. Now, I want you to actually illustrate it right now. What would that conversation look like? My name is Jamie D. I am new to Las Vegas, been here a month and a half, have no true clue about the culture here and what's happening, and you want me to vote for you, so why? I mean, why? How can I trust you? Explain that to me. Let's have that conversation as if I was truly talking to you on the street.
Well, I have these conversations all the time, so it's great to meet you, Jamie D. My name is Kara Jenkins, and I understand that I need to earn your vote.
Okay.
But one of the things that I'm really concerned about is the accessibility of folks like you to come into the city and make a really great life for yourself. And so that's my commitment. One of the things that I'll need your input on is what are some of the things that you are needing from government in order to make your business thrive? Okay. Do you need access to mentorship? Do you need money, seed money? Do you need to get a grant? Do you need to understand about or get mentoring from a small business coach? Do you need to get a line of credit, a loan? How can we connect you to the right people so that you can find support? And then how can I be there, not just triage you to help and say goodbye, but you can come back and talk to me about that. Right. How do we circle back? How do we measure your success? It's almost like a parent with a child. I'm not minimizing. You are very much a very accomplished college graduate man. But it's like when you were looking at having your kids wanting to do what they want to do, it's like, okay, well, how do I support my child with his or her dreams? It's first identifying what it is they're good at, what they like, being honest about where they can succeed, and then trying to find connections for them so that they can find their wings. And so I think that's what government should be. I don't think government should hover a helicopter, but I think, again, where it makes sense, government should be there to support your dreams. It's not like, for example, during the pandemic, a lot of people were really, really stressed out about how they were going to make ends meet because they had a staffing issue, there was a pandemic, and a lot of people were left questioning, what am I going to do, especially with my unemployment, where am I going to get money? That's where government really needs to step in and have a plan. I'll leave it at that.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you for that. I will say that I moved here a month and a half ago, and I had a situation where I was in one apartment, but my water pipeline broke, and I was forced to move somewhere else. When I was originally moving here in March, rent was extremely affordable. 2-bedroom, 1 bath for $1,000, $1,100, and even included a lot of amenities. However, in less than a month and a half, rent is now $1,600 for those exact same apartments. to me, I feel as though that is pretty insane, especially for those who are trying to create a true lifestyle in Vegas.
Or if you're making $8.25
Exactly.
an hour.
And when you see all of the advertisements saying, hey, come to Vegas where you truly have an affordable lifestyle for you, can you explain if you would tackle this issue, and do you support rent control?
I would talk to all the key players with that, because there's a lot of things going on with why rents are so high. We have well, there's talk of a recession. We are definitely in an inflated economy right now, where there's more of a need than more of a demand than supply.
Okay.
So then that gives folks the opportunity to raise prices. We saw that with gas and toilet paper. Remember that? You couldn't get toilet paper. It was like trading gold. And so some of those things are actually illegal. Price gouging is illegal. Government was cracking down.
Illegal?
Yeah, to price gouge, to take advantage of people by making gas $10.
I'm not seeing anybody step in and defend that, though. A lot of people are just letting that happen.
Actually, the Attorney General did. He put out some information. And that's where it's very important for young people to be keyed into government. And that's just, I think that's our responsibility and our fault, that the young people just don't really kind of care.
Yeah.
They care more about TikTok. They care more about influencers and things that feel important to them. But we need to make government cool again. Can you help me with that?
I would love to, but
Sure.
and just because I still want you to get to that question I asked. But I want to say this: a lot of politicians don't realize younger people don't care because you guys are just fighting about things that don't matter. A lot of times we're seeing you all being very divisive in politics when it's like we're asking for help, even as young individuals. We're pleading for help, actually, and you all are talking about things that doesn't matter, such as transgender and bathrooms, when it's like, hey, we're looking for affordable housing. We're looking to get the homeless off the street. We want a mayor who would truly come down, hold our hand, and talk to us. Now, I want to get back to that question.
I think you'll have that with me.
Okay, well, hey, listen, I'm going to hold you to it. Keep that same energy. Now, I want to ask you, do you support rent control?
In terms of what?
In terms of...
Clarify.
All right, so...
There's a current bill right now for it. We're currently, hey, everybody, we're in a legislative session right now. It's going to end in about 20-ish days. And that is a bill that's getting ready to be...
Okay.
We'll see if it gets passed and if it gets signed by the governor. And because I work for him, let's talk offline about that. Can I tell you what I do support?
Okay.
I support livable wages. I don't know that I support rent control per se. It's not a bill that I can really talk about. Again, I have to straddle the very fine line of being a governor appointee and what he's going to veto or approve versus what I would do as a mayor in my private endeavors. But I will say this, you should be able to afford to live. And it makes no sense that minimum wage is what it is and rents are double that, meaning that you either have to couch surf, live with your parents, or get 10 roommates for a one-bedroom house.
Yeah, listen, you're not lying. Let's move on to the phone calls. We have Edward on line one. Edward, welcome into the show. How are you doing today?
Hey, what's going on, Jamie? Hey, Miss Kara. Do you go by Kara, future mayor, Miss Jenkins? What can we call you?
Hi, Edward. You call me KJ.
Yes, KJ.
KJ, all right.
Hi, Edward.
Before we get to you, hey, Miss KJ, before we get to you, hey, did Jamie rob a store, a reptile store? Because he got some sick pythons right there.
Hey, thanks. Trying to be out here branding myself, Edward. I appreciate it.
All right. Sorry about that.
No, Jamie D needs to take me for a run, too. As mayor, I will...
We're going to work out together.
Yeah, we'll have to have, like, abs runs on Saturday. Yeah, get the community out there and get fit like Jamie D.
So what question do you have, KJ?
Yeah, I got a few questions. Hey, Miss KJ, let me ask y'all from an outsider perspective looking in, what are you going to do besides, like, kissing babies and shaking hands and cutting ribbons? Like, what really makes you stand out compared to all your other candidates?
Thank you.
Realistically.
Thank you. Realistically.
What makes you different?
I want to say, I appreciate that because it's important to kiss the babies and cut the ribbons, but what you're saying is that doesn't affect whether or not I can pay my rent at the end of the first of the month, buy groceries and things of that nature. And so, as I had mentioned to Jamie D, I want to take a more active approach to that mayor's seat where it's traditionally a platform to take pictures, to actually really get other people involved to solve these problems for you all so that we can really encourage people to invest in our city. Here's the deal, Edward. If you have people investing in the city and investing in you, it's a win-win for everybody. And that's what a mediator does, and I'm actually really good at that. If I can say, if you lower the rent and we raise kind of like a cap or have a guaranteed income for certain income brackets, you're not going to see squander of money. You're going to see an elevation of lifestyle level and increasingly attracting more people to come here, which will in turn increase the economy's growth. We need more people working downtown and in the city to basically help support what's going on in the Strip. One of the things that people don't know is that the city of Las Vegas is not the Strip. The Strip is run by unincorporated Clark County, And so so downtown Las Vegas supports all those people from the stratosphere back towards Circa. That is the city. And we've got pretty much 43% small businesses operating in downtown, and we need to support those because those actually do support what happens on the Strip. And if we treat our tourists as well as we do, we should treat you, Edward, just as good as we treat the tourists. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. And I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and we're going through a situation right now. We are having a homeless problem. And when I've been to Vegas, I have seen that dirty side of Vegas where it's very, people go, they think they're going to win $1 million and then leave flat broke. And then they're stuck like Chuck in your city. And I mean, what's going on with that situation? How do you see that being worked on,
Right. Well, that is definitely a part of our platform, is to address the homeless issue, which I think is very common, Edward, to a lot of cities, because you see people getting priced out of homes. And then coupled with the fact that Las Vegas is a very mature city where you can get anything at any time here, it's not a really good mix for people who have certain mental health conditions, or if, they gamble all their money away, and that's not good. We want to make sure that people are safe and comfortable and enjoy the city, but just don't end up on the streets. And so I'll work with, I have had a lot of conversations with folks who basically said and told me that they can really crack the homeless problem solution. And I see other cities really doing a good job with that, with wraparound services, because there's so many different levels of homelessness. You have the working poor who are homeless, who can't afford their own rent. And then you have people who probably really need more wraparound services in order to get the help that they need. And so we'll tackle all of that. And I won't just be kissing babies, although I love babies. I do. And
Got a lot of kids.
And I love a good ribbon cutting. If you go on my social media, we were able to celebrate a good friend's tattoo shop that opened up, and we cut ribbons for she and her husband because it was a really great thing that they did and invested in. We saw their dreams realized. So there's a time to celebrate and cut ribbons and kiss babies, but there's also time to do work. And I have been doing the work since I graduated law school in 2003, and I will not stop.
Yes.
I will not stop. Edward, so you're gonna come move to Vegas?
Yeah. So actually,
from
Edward,
Texas?
listen, Edward, thank you so much for calling. I know Carrie just asked him a question, but we are strapped for time right now.
Darn,
And
okay.
Edward, thank you so much for calling in. Hey, come out and move to Texas, and maybe you can have a vote in our next mayoral candidacy run. Thank you so much for being here.
This was so
Kara
fun.
Jenkins. Yes.
And
AJ,
congratulations on your new show.
thank
I
you
hope
so
to be
much.
back on that show.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm super excited for you. Hey, before we exit, I want to give you the chance to just shout yourself out.
Okay.
Allow people to understand, what you're doing, where they can follow you and support you. And
Thank you.
let us know about you.
Yeah, my communications director, she's amazing. She's here in the background, and I can almost feel her saying, talk about the website. So if
Yes.
you want to check me out more and learn more about my bio, it's www.karaforlvmayor.com. I'm also on Instagram at Kara4LVMayor, and it's the number 4. And you can also, if you want to meet me, we're having a fundraiser mixer on May 30th.
Yes.
I hope you're invited to come.
Thank you so
Please
much. Live
bring-
on air, you get the invite.
Yes, please, you guys come check us out. We're going to have a silent auction. It's some of our local business owners who have generously donated items and gift baskets for people to silent auction, but also an opportunity to get to know me. Just like you said, connection's so important. And again, I hope to earn your vote with more conversation, because I really truly care about people.
Yes.
And I want everybody to know, especially young people, if you don't even vote for me, which I want you to, please register to vote.
Please.
It's so easy. You just go to whenwevote.org, or you can go to the Secretary of State's website, register to vote. If you're turning 18 in 2023, register to vote and let your voice be heard.
That's an important message.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on KJ.
Oh, thank you
Kara
for
Jenkins.
having me.
It was an absolute pleasure to talk to you and have this conversation.
Likewise.
I wish you the absolute best, and hopefully
Thank
I
you.
see you on my new show.
Oh, you will.
Yes.
Thank
you
you.
all so much for tuning in. That was an amazing segment with Kara Jenkins, aka KJ. Listen, for the next segment, you won't even guess this story. We have a teacher turned millionaire OnlyFans model. So make sure you're back with us in a few minutes. Super excited to talk with that guest. See you soon, all right?
Hey everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premier Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing, car accident treatment, and work injuries. You name it, they do it. They have on-site x-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams, treatments such as testosterone enhancement, and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554.
Do you want to take your business to the next level? Then join one of the fastest growing talk shows, Pushing the Limits. We have a wide range of sales packages that can fit your budget. Anything from on-site live remotes to in-studio interviews. Email Jamie at jamiedee@kshp.com. That's JAIMEDEE@kshp.com.
Buying or selling a home is a huge life event that requires guidance from an expert in the industry and community. My name is Blake Guinn. You may recognize my name as my grandfather was the best governor the state of Nevada has ever had. Growing up in Las Vegas, I've come to know this community intricately. Now, I am raising a family here as well, so I understand all the issues impacting our home and quality of life. As the top realtor for the #1 real estate team at Keller Williams, you can have confidence in my experience, knowledge, and track record. When it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate, choose a name you can trust and someone who understands the community you call home. Call Blake Guinn today and experience the difference of a trusted expert. 702-540-3311.
Sapphire Pool and Day Club, the world's only topless gentlemen's day club, introduces its 2023 pool season lineup with a bevy of beauties and social media celebrities throughout the summer who will all host alongside hundreds of Sapphire's topless poolside entertainers. Enjoy brunch in the sun with items like frittata-style omelets, stripping chicken, and French kiss toast before washing it down with signature summertime cocktails. 10 lines, beware. Go Bear! Ladies are welcome to go topless within the day club for the ultimate party. Guests can purchase affordable day bed packages, cabana packages, lounge chairs, and more. The best part though? Pushing the Limits will be broadcasting shows every other Friday throughout the pool season with a ton of surprise celebrity guests. Wow! Reserve your spot now. For more info, visit sapphirepoolLV.com or call 702-869-0003. That's 702-869-0003. See you at Sapphire.
At the Bagel Cafe, the recipe is simple, good food, and generous portions. Family owned and operated since 1996, the Bagel Cafe is a unique restaurant where you can get anything your appetite desires. From a bagel and a schmear to piled high corned beef on homemade rye, fresh fruit platters and salads, or creamy New York cheesecake. Check them out at thebagelcafeLV.com. The Bagel Cafe, where there's something delicious for everyone.
Welcome back to Pushing the Limits live on KSHP AM 1400 and now 107.1 FM. I'm super excited to have you all on this fun Friday with me, Jamie D. Brian Shapiro will be back this upcoming Monday. Super excited to have him back on the show. Right now, I have the lovely Courtney Tillia.
Yay!
She was once a aspiring, amazing, and just successful teacher, now turned millionaire OnlyFans model. Girl, what?
Yeah.
Welcome in, Courtney.
Thank you
How
so much
are
for
you?
having me. I am
Yes.
so good.
Yes, I'm happy to have you. It's a great Friday. You're from no, you're not. You're not from Las Vegas. You're from Arizona, correct?
Arizona originally.
Yes.
I live in Los
And
Angeles.
You live in Los Angeles. Yes. I
Yep.
don't know why, but I get tongue-tied with Las Vegas and Los Angeles
I know.
all the time. Legit, just moved there from a month ago, and I still say I'm living in Los Angeles all the time on accident. But yes,
great
it's a
place.
pleasure to have you in
Thank
the
you.
show and in the studio. Now, before we get into the segment, I want to give you a few minutes to introduce yourself and briefly tell our listeners about your story.
Yeah. So I'm a former school teacher. I worked in special education for 6 years, and I taught all the kids that couldn't go to a public school because they were physically aggressive. And I really found myself disconnected, unhappy, depressed, and pushing away the things that I really loved, my family, my kids. And so my husband turned to me one day and he was like, this isn't going to work. Like, we can't continue down this path. If you could do anything all day, what would you do? And I was so lost. And I was like, I guess go to the gym.
Right.
That's all I really knew. And he's like, great, resign and do that, which was crazy because the only income we had at the time was mine because my husband had quit his job to start his coaching business. So I resigned and started doing coaching. I was doing modeling at the same time, started on like just Instagram, started doing some photo shoots, and then started seeing a lot of people posting on OnlyFans. And so I was like, you know, it'd be really cool if I could get on there and make like $500 a month, like a little side money, live in LA, let's like
Right.
gas money. And I joined in 2019 and it's been obviously a whirlwind and way more than $500 a month.
Okay. Listen, I'm glad that you detailed that for us. Thank you so much. Now, I know you're married with 4 kids. You just
Yeah.
said that your husband was in on this the entire time.
Yes.
Explain to us how that conversation went about starting an OnlyFans and whose idea actually was it?
Yeah, you know, I think I was the one who initially brought it up, but he had always been encouraging me to go after and be myself, express myself, do photo shoots. So he was the one who would take my photos, and it all started with like some progress pics, some like bodybuilding progress pics.
Right.
And he would take them, and then they'd get a little sexier and a little sexier.
Okay.
And he managed my Instagram at the time, so I think it was very a mutual thing. But I think the initial like I think I'm gonna join this was me, and he was like, yeah, I don't know what you've been like waiting for.
He was in full support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Very
Now,
much so.
Explain to us this. You and your husband also make content together, correct?
We do. That's a newer thing. That started in
Okay.
2021. So
Okay.
I had been on the platform for a few years before he had joined in. And then it still started with like point of view where you could really only see me. And now it's full on now.
Okay. Ooh, full on frontal, huh? Now, look, you talked about your story and how you went from one body type to the next. You look amazing. Love the way
you.
that you're maintaining everything and keeping the girls happy and the guys, actually. Now, you've documented your body journey on other interviews, and I saw that you got fit naturally, but I want to ask a true question. Did you get any enhancements or any surgeries?
Yeah, I'm very open about my plastic
Okay.
surgery that I've had. I've had 2 breast augmentations. I have had a tummy tuck
Okay.
because I had so much loose skin after having my kids. And I needed a hernia repair and my abs sewn together. So I've been cut hip to hip. I have a scar, and that's tattooed. So and then I have veneers, and I've gotten some Botox. But like, I'm very open book. Like,
Hey, it looks natural, though. I had to ask because you couldn't tell at first.
yeah, that's what I've had: boobs, tummy tuck, and Botox.
Okay.
Oh, and a little filler.
A little. Not too much.
2 times.
2 times.
Boobs, total.
Yes, we love to hear it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you made sure to look the part. You've done it naturally. You
Yeah.
also got a little extra help and used your resources and
Yeah.
made it work for you, and you're happy with all your decisions. Have you regretted any of your surgeries?
Ooh. No, because I was very mindful. Each one that I've done has been like something from a place of desire and wanting it, not from like feeling like I had to have breast augmentation to look the part or to be feminine or whatever. Like I had always wanted boobs, and so I was like, bring it on.
Right. Okay. So detail for us, what got you into teaching, and why was that your first career journey?
It was not my first career journey,
Oh,
but
okay.
I started off actually in engineering.
Oh, really?
Which you would look at me and be like, no.
What? Listen, with all the stuff I've read about you, I never knew that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's not really out there. I only really did it for a short period of time. And I never like actually did a career of it because I
Okay.
switched careers into teaching.
You left out all the information. What, friend?
Yeah. So I graduated in education,
Okay.
but like I got my pilot's license when I was 16. Like I was headed for a very like engineering military career.
Okay.
And I did 1 semester in engineering, and I was like, yo.
This ain't it.
I literally got to the first class on the first day, and I was like, I'm not in the
like,
right spot.
Right. Listen, them classes will humble you real quick.
I was like, this isn't it for me. And I had always loved kids, especially kids with special needs. Like I was always like the one at school trying to like help and like making sure that everyone felt a part of the community and connected. And so I was like, oh, maybe I'll like go back to what I love, which is kids. And then I was like special ed, and I went to Arizona State, so it's a massive school, and there were 12 kids in my major.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Hundreds of thousands of students, 12. And I was literally the last graduating class because nobody wants to do the career.
What was your specific major?
Special education
Oh,
is my
wow.
bachelor's. My master's is in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis in autism.
Okay.
And then I dropped out of my PhD a year before graduating.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
You dropping some gems that I haven't heard on
You
other
didn't
interviews
hear?
at all.
Oh,
listen.
welcome.
Well, listen. No, you're welcome because you're telling me some good stuff. Now,
Okay.
let's detail this for me. I've heard you say in other interviews and just even talking to you personally that special education and kids and even teaching was a passion for you that you saw for yourself. However, I've heard you say many times, even if the money was there, you wouldn't go back.
No.
So what makes people, what do you think, how do you think people can believe the fact that you said there was a passion if the reason why you left was because of the money? If it was there, you still wouldn't go back. So how was it truly a passion?
So it was a passion initially.
Okay.
Like you can be like, oh, I love soccer. And then you do it and you're like, oh, I didn't realize it was 45 minutes a half. I didn't know it was like that much running.
Right.
And so like, for me, it was like I always enjoyed kids. I didn't realize when I was getting into education, the politics, the control over every aspect of my life. Yes, the money is a huge part because that does impact how I can show up. The parents, like there's just so many components of it that like when you're going to school that you don't realize like, oh, I didn't think about that, or I hadn't experienced that, or I didn't know that that was going to be a component of it. Like something simple, like no one tells you you're going to have to make CPS calls, right?
Yeah.
Like that's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard. And you're having to weigh out like, am I putting this child at more risk by making a call? Like, is this actually a concern, or is this like something that maybe I'm not aware of? You know, like there's just so many components that you're like, ooh, I didn't think about it. So I have a passion for kids and youth and teaching, not being a teacher in that way.
Okay, that makes sense. So I actually worked for Atlanta Public School Systems for 3 years.
Okay.
So I have the exact same experiences you had working with youth that didn't have the same resources as me and, you know, had free and reduced lunch. And so I have seen all the struggles, and I was doing it for less than $35,000 a year. So trust me, child living in Atlanta, what was I going to do with that money? So I get it. Now, I want to ask this, though. What kind of message do you think you're sending teachers when you make content that says, hey, leave your job, come work with me, and I can get you an OnlyFans role and train you up to be an OnlyFans model, versus just saying, hey, stick out the tough fight for your money and your wages, and keep pushing for our children?
So I feel like I do both, right? I want to show teachers that if teaching isn't your truest passion, like for me, that there are other options available, right? And it may not be modeling, it may not be OnlyFans, but maybe it's like you wanted to start a coaching business, or maybe it's that you make a jewelry line, or you're a chef, or something else that you didn't think was possible for you. And I want to show you that that is possible. And people don't want their teacher on OnlyFans. And so if you don't want your teacher to turn to other things, bartending, OnlyFans, working night shift, whatever it is, then we need to work together and take care of our community and our teachers because we need them. Right. And so the point of me doing that was, one, to help teachers, but also raise an awareness that like we have a serious problem.
For sure. Now, would you say that you would actually go on the front lines and help picket and strike with the teachers? Because there's a lot of strikes that are happening in LA. They're fighting for their rights. And even though that may not be your career path anymore, are we going to see you support them in real life?
Absolutely. I absolutely support the teachers in picketing, and I've done some. But I think my biggest thing is like during this last LA Unified picket, we created we created a course that was not OnlyFans related for teachers and anybody who worked in education that wanted to further their career or make money or start a business or things like that. And we actually paired up with somebody who's known as her name's Amanda Francis.
Okay.
And she is a self-made multimillionaire that helps people to start business and make money. So we paired with her to offer resources for teachers and anybody in education.
That's good. I'm happy that you're actually giving back. And I understand that this may not be your career choice anymore, but you're still letting teachers know I have your back and we're still in this fight together. That's amazing. Now, we have seen so many times that there has been scares and rumors of OnlyFans shutting down and stopping explicit content, but ultimately they did not. So if you were to lose all of your accounts, you have 3. You have a VIP, you have a free one, and a merchandise store.
Correct.
And you couldn't continue to do those things. Excuse me, my allergies. See, you understand.
Yep.
What would you do instead? If you had to get rid of all of this, what would you do instead career-wise?
You know, I would still do it. I'll make my own platform. And I've said this because on the Dr. Phil show, he's like, if you're offered $2 million, like, are you going to stop posting sexy content? This is who I am. Like, I started posting sexy content before I was making money in it because I love to express myself. I love sexy images. I love to make it, create it, show it, all of it.
Okay.
So I would still do it. And I really am getting into like more of a TV and doing stuff and helping people to work through shame and stuff like that. So it's moving more into like the TV and media and helping people in a different way.
Yeah, I understand. I did see on your website, you are all about empowering women in their femininity, empowering them in their girl bossness, and truly breaking down social construction of reality and building them back up to understand, hey, this is your life. Do what you want to do because you only have one. Now, I have a personal question for you, though. Let's see if you'll let me dive deep into this. Courtney, how old are you?
I'm 36. I'm
You're
happy
36.
to talk about. Yeah, I posted a photo. My birthday was just. You were
there.
there.
Yeah, I was there. We were celebrating your birthday. We're turning up at Sapphire Pool and Day
I posted a
Club.
photo of like my candles said 36. I have no shame in like in plastic surgery, my age. I want to show that you can still be sexy. And like people are like, "What are you gonna do? You're almost 40." And I'm like, "Boo! I haven't even reached my prime."
All right, listen, let them know.
Look.
But I do want to ask that though. When do you think this will stop for you? I mean, you're 36. You're about to enter into that new phase of life. You know, 40s is a whole different phase where things happen. So do you think there's a time where you'll be stopping?
I feel like I haven't even hit my prime yet.
You serious?
I feel like I'm like getting the ball rolling.
Do you feel like you're competing with the 20-year-old OnlyFans models who are just out there
I don't feel
showing
like
it all?
I don't feel
we got
like
a different word to say, but I was like, wait, we're on there.
I don't feel like it's a competition though. Like I feel like there's a market for everyone. I don't I'm like I'll help you.
But you're in the top 0.1%. It is competition.
Yeah, but there's billions of people who are on there making money. Like I just like I feel like there's plenty of money and plenty of subscribers to go around. Like I don't feel like we're competing.
Okay, so you feel like you're in your own lane and so is everybody else.
Yeah,
that makes sense. So let me ask you this: has any of your past students reached out to you after they found out that you're an OnlyFans model?
I know everyone wants to know this. I worked with very severe students, so my students were like middle school, high school. I've taught every grade, but functioning more at like a preschool level. And so no, that has never been my circumstance where students have reached out. But I do have a little tea.
Oh, what's the tea?
I do have former staff members that subscribe to my OnlyFans.
What? Ooh.
Yeah. But you know what I think is so interesting and kind of funny about it?
Tell me about it.
They use their real name.
You're kidding?
No, like they don't even like. You know how you can be. You have an OnlyFans, I know. So
I don't have OnlyFans. No, not over here. I support it though. Hey, look, I be looking on Twitter.
Oh, he's cheap like that. He don't pay. He's like, I'm not putting in my credit card. I see you.
Listen.
He's on Reddit. He's all searching up those people.
We're getting through it. We're gonna find this content somehow. But go ahead.
Oh, so you can just have a generic name. Like most people will have a generic name that it's like user 395 whatever. And so like to me, I'm like, you legit put your first and last name in there.
Right.
You wanted me to see that you're here.
But I mean, you're the woman who's all about no shame.
No shame. I support it
At
too.
the end of the day, you have to talk about we still have personal lives. And you made a great point. Yes, there should be some stipulations of a few things you probably should do because social media is so open to everybody. And you probably wouldn't want your students seeing you doing certain activities, but you should still live a certain life because you have the right to.
Yes.
And I mean, there's just certain things and resources you want to use to enjoy yourself off of work. So if I want to subscribe to Courtney Tillia, I'm going to subscribe.
Here's the thing, too. People make it sound like, oh, like you can just subscribe. Like you literally, you have to be 18. You have to click that. You have to put in a credit card information.
Right.
Even on my free page, you can be like, well, it's free. You can't subscribe without a credit card.
Okay.
So it's not like you have like, you know, unless you got a kid that's still on the parent's credit card, then that's another parenting issue. That is not my issue. I don't have to hide myself because you're not available for
Right.
parenting.
So what do you say to people who are making comments like, you're setting the wrong display for younger women? Because you are pushing yourself as a role model for women your age and women who want to be free, but there are young women who are looking at you and saying that they want to live that certain lifestyle, even in high school. So what do you have to say to the commenters who say you're not the best role model for them?
Yeah, I've heard this before, and everybody looks at me and takes something different from it, right? And my biggest thing is that I want women to be free, to be able to express themselves, to be able to put themselves out there. And a lot of people
Even
look
at a
at
young
me.
age?
Well, I mean, I'm still talking age appropriate.
What's considered age appropriate though?
For OnlyFans, obviously 18.
Okay.
But like, I still want even young girls to look at me and be like, she's confident in herself. She's free to be herself. She made choices that made sense to her. For me growing up, like, it was based, like, I went to college based on like what my family told me to do. Like, I did things based on like what was going to be accepted and loved. And if I can help young girls be like, yeah, I don't want to be a porn star, or I don't want to be an OnlyFans, but I want to do what I want to do, then we can cut the gap of the stuff that I had to go through to be able to like put themselves out there and follow the path that they're meant to follow.
That makes sense. A lot of times society sees sex workers and sexual content creators as just tools. Do you feel like you are respected by the general public?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Obviously, there's a... I say that and then I laugh.
Right. I'm like, hold on. What you about to say, friend?
Okay, yes, I do. Because I think that I break a lot of the molds that people are like, that makes me question the beliefs that I have.
What do you mean?
Okay, so like when you think of an S worker.
Okay. You can say sex.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. When you think of a sex worker, you're thinking somebody who had no other life choices. You're thinking somebody is single. You're probably thinking that they're on the corner making moves.
Right.
You're thinking they're addicted to things. And so to see me, very well educated, married, kids, put together, has a very typical life. You wouldn't look at me on the street. Maybe you would right now because of how I'm dressed.
You're like, sun's out, boobs out.
Hey. But you wouldn't look at me and be like, oh my gosh, this girl, right? You wouldn't look at me. So it makes people question their beliefs of like, oh, she doesn't fit into the mold that I had thought. So in that terms, I think that there is a respect of like, it makes people question. However, there's been some recent articles that have said that I am a Christian porn star. And that that has a group of people pushing back. But here's what I want to say even about that.
That is a niche though, so hey.
Yeah.
Christians have sex, right?
No, they don't. Not according to the people who are in my DMs. They are not. That's my thing. Is it's all a bunch of shame, and it's all of their stuff, right? Like their beliefs, their trauma, the things society has taught them. It's not like me.
Right.
It's their stuff that they're projecting onto me, and so I'm like, I don't. That's you.
You're like,
Bobo.
that's you. I'm me.
Yeah.
So then, how do you keep yourself from being from allowing all those attacks to really affect your mental?
Okay. So on Monday, this article came out about me in the New York Post that I was God told me to be a Christian porn star.
The New York Post wrote this?
So it started in the Daily Star, and then by Monday, it was in the New York Post, and Andrew Tate had tweeted it. Candace Owens made a video about it. Like, yeah, it's been a big deal.
No one talked to you before making this article?
I had done an article with the Daily Star. Yes, yeah. I had done it. It's my...
Did you tell them that you're a Christian porn star or a sex content worker?
I never said I was a Christian.
So why did they write that?
Because it's the headline. If you read the article, it says that I do feel like I'm called to help women to work through shame. And I do believe in God, and I believe that you can be spiritual and have sex.
Right.
I know it's shocking, but
I mean,
I do.
People get married and have sex, so they're still spiritual.
Yeah.
They're Christians, so yeah.
Yeah, and so, but the title of it, me being a Christian porn star, I wouldn't consider myself to be a Christian. Some of the articles say I'm Catholic. It's just like, the headline's clickbaity.
I don't like clickbaits. I feel like that's so unjournalistic and against what we have as values as journalists to create a headline or even just a story that's not true just to get people interested.
Yeah.
You can still get people interested with the truth.
But I think I think, yes, clickbaity. I also think that people assume that if you believe in God that you're a Christian.
Right.
And so I think that there was some assumptions in that area that were made. I also said I grew up Christian. And so I think there was just a continuation of that she must still be this.
Right. That makes sense.
So
now we have
on their defense.
a few more minutes left, and I want to get into some questions that are going to be specific to your OnlyFans.
Okay.
Let us know, how do you come up with new ideas? Because, I mean, you can only have sex with so many people.
Can you?
I mean, I don't know. You tell me. I'm not on OnlyFans. Listen, if you want to help me out and give me some people on my roster, I can. But go ahead.
I only create content with other women and my husband.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people out there.
Right.
But it's always like what I feel called to create, or like I check in with myself, what excites me, what would be fun, try something new. I'll search on Amazon.
Hey, you
look
said
at
called to
looks.
create again. Are you a Christian? I'm kidding. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe. And then I get a lot of requests for things. So I'll be like, oh, I didn't think of that. Somebody last week was like, can you go swimming and dive at the bottom of the pool and pick up coins? And I was like, huh,
What?
I hadn't thought about that as far as content, but maybe
Right.
that might be something fun.
Uh-huh.
But then I also have boundaries where people ask me things. I'm like, no, I can't do that.
So, Courtney, are you bisexual?
Yes.
Were you bisexual before OnlyFans?
No. Oh, we didn't talk about that?
What?
Yeah. So because I grew up super religious, I always suppressed that side of myself and was like, oh, like I'll go to hell if I think
Right.
women are hot.
Right.
And so, yeah. So like my husband and I were talking about it and I was like, yeah, and I always thought that bisexual meant like 50-50.
Right.
And so I was like, I don't think I'm 50-50, you know? And so I was like, no, I don't think I am. And then, yeah, through a lot of inner work, I was like, you're right. Like I am bisexual.
So wait. So then you were bisexual before OnlyFans? You said no.
Okay, I didn't know that I was, is what I'm saying. I've always been bisexual my whole life, but I didn't come out or know that fully about myself until like 2 years into OnlyFans. 2021 is when I came out.
So when you expressed this to your husband, I know a lot of guys enjoy women on women. So what was his response? Like, oh yeah, it's hot, or like, what do you
He was
think?
always supportive,
Okay.
in whatever way that I felt called to explore that. Because I
Okay.
think that you could be bi and be like, I find women so hot, but I don't necessarily want to have something intimate with them.
Right.
And so he's like, whatever you feel called, like if you want to be intimate with women. And so, yeah.
Okay. Granted, we have a few minutes left, but I have
Okay.
a few more questions to ask. Now, your husband did start off with you in this journey as your photographer,
Yeah.
as your model in the shoots, and just overall manager, but now you're doing this all on your own. Do you still talk to your husband before each shoot? Do you have to ask for permission at all?
I don't ask for permission, but
Okay.
it's more of a like communication of things of like general, like I'm shooting this with this person, I'm going to be here.
Has he
It's
ever
more
said
of a
no?
safety. No, it's whatever I feel good with.
Okay.
So-
Have you ever seen that he was uncomfortable but said yes anyway just to support you as his wife?
No, he's
Oh.
so not like that.
So he's been gung-ho about everything.
Truly.
Hey, that's husband. Okay.
Right? He's the best.
Okay.
And I'm more of like, the more you can communicate and have good dialogue, then there's not miscommunications and stuff like that.
Okay.
So like there's been times when I've showed up to a shoot to shoot with another girl and their like boyfriend or husband is there to like film. And so for me, I'm just like, I just want to let you know, are you good with this? And he's always like, yes. And it's more of just a like, I want to be aware. I just want to have very open dialogue and communication.
Right.
Yeah.
So you have everything out on display for the world to see. Is there such a thing as too much or going too far at this point in your career?
No, I do struggle to share some things that are more vulnerable, like things that I'm currently like working through. And so like, I'm actually working to share more of that because I think I don't want to be the like influencer or somebody who's like, look at the good times in my life and not showing like I'm struggling with this or this wasn't so good. Like when the media came out, Monday I was like, say whatever you want about me.
Right.
Tuesday I was like, oh my God, I feel so misunderstood by
I'm
the
sorry.
world.
Yeah.
And like, I was like, and it's not just a couple people, this article's so viral around the globe. And so like I worked through that with my husband. I talked to Arnold Schwarzenegger about it and he gave me some advice. And so by then I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. So
Right.
by Wednesday I was like, say whatever you want.
Right.
And so like I want to be able to show the like
your emotions.
Yeah.
And that you're a real human. Even though
Yeah.
you may be a role model and a mentor to a lot of women across the globe, you still have daily struggles you
Yeah.
have to get through. But
Exactly.
that shows that you're credible in your work.
Exactly.
That's awesome. Hey, look, you got my number, so if you need somebody to, cry on, let me know, Courtney.
Thank you.
My pleasure. You talk a lot about your finances and that you're a millionaire and how much you make. Give us some insight on how you maintain your money and keep from going back broke.
Oh God, that's not an option. I'm not going back broke.
Right.
For me, it's a lot about, like we just talked about, connecting with your people and building that rapport with them.
Okay.
And so like when OnlyFans gets this rap that it's only sexual, but people actually are coming there to connect with you as well. And a lot of people don't have somebody to come home to after work, or they struggle to communicate with their wife about their desires. And so for me, it's not just about sexual, it's also building that relationship where I help people to communicate their desires or work through gambling things or different thanks. And so for me, it's always about building that relationship that keeps people coming back for more.
So Courtney, we're friends. I don't know if this is weird to say. So I did some research. I saw some things about you, and you have a really cute corner where you get all your sunlight and you talk to all your fans. And I see that you're truly personal. And I appreciate the fact that you are truly shining in your career and putting a middle finger up to the haters, because this is your life. You know,
Yeah.
They can't control you. They're not putting money in your pockets. The haters, at least, you know. So I'm happy.
Honestly,
for you.
though, they hate, but they're still subscribing.
Hey, listen. You gonna get it how you get it, okay? I'm super happy to have had you on
Thank
today.
you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah, we're pretty much out of time, but I want to give you some space to just let people know how to follow you, how to support you, and what you have coming up next.
Yeah, I'm Courtney Tillia on all of the platforms.
Can you spell it for them?
Courtney and Tillia. I'm the Courtney Tillia on Instagram.
Period.
What do I have coming up? I have some TV shows actually in the works where I'm going to help people to work through shame.
Can you
and
help
judgment.
me?
I'll help you.
I
got
got
you.
a few things I got to work on, so
Okay,
I'm not perfect.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yes, well, it was such a pleasure, friend.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, from the pool party to the studio.
Woo!
That's how we do it. Everybody, that was Courtney Tillia, the teacher turned millionaire OnlyFans model. It was an absolute pleasure to have her on the show today. You won't believe what's next. We have this extremely horrible NYC Karen trying to bait and switch a bunch of young black teenagers for a bike. Just ridiculous. Hey, stick around. We'll be back. You're now listening to Pushing Limits live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM.
Hey everybody, are you struggling to find a pizza place that reminds you of Brooklyn? That true blue New York style pie? Well, worry no more. Stallone's Italian Eatery Pizza is a knockout. We're located at 467 East Silverado Ranch Boulevard, just off of Premium Road, half a mile east of South Point Casino, just minutes from the Las Vegas Strip. Come by and grab a slice of pie. Plus, check out our Brooklyn-inspired Italian cuisine. Our sandwiches are super. Hero, that is. Because why be a sub when you can be a hero? Stallone's Italian Eatery is here to serve you phenomenal food, Vegas. Forget about it.
You want to take your business to the next level? Then join one of the fastest growing talk shows, Pushing the Limits. We have a wide range of sales packages that can fit your budget. Anything from on-site live remotes to in-studio interviews. Email Jamie at jamiedee@kshp.com. That's JAIMEDEE@kshp.com.
Buying or selling a home is a huge life event that requires guidance from an expert in the industry and community. My name is Blake Guinn. You may recognize my name as my grandfather was the best governor the state of Nevada has ever had. Growing up in Las Vegas, I've come to know this community intricately. Now, I am raising a family here as well, so I understand all the issues impacting our home and quality of life. As the top realtor for the #1 real estate team at Keller Williams, you can have confidence in my experience, knowledge, and track record. When it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate, choose a name you can trust and someone who understands the community you call home. Call Blake Guinn today and experience the difference of a trusted expert. 702-540-3311.
Sapphire Pool and Day Club, the world's only topless gentlemen's day club, introduces its 2023 pool season lineup with a bevy of beauties and social media celebrities throughout the summer who will all host alongside hundreds of Sapphire's topless poolside entertainers. Enjoy brunch in the sun with items like frittata-style omelets, stripping chicken, and
world-famous
French
radio
kiss
shopping
toast
show.
before washing it down with signature summertime cocktails. 10 lines, beware. Go Bear! Ladies are welcome to go topless within the day club for the ultimate party. Guests can purchase affordable day bed packages, cabana packages, lounge chairs, and more. The best part though, Pushing the Limits will be broadcasting shows every other Friday throughout the pool season with a ton of surprise celebrity guests. Wow! Reserve your spot now For more info, visit sapphirepoolLV.com or call 702-869-0003. That's 702-869-0003. See you at Sapphire.
Pine Hollow Winery is the first and only boutique winery in the Las Vegas city limits that features its own handcrafted wines. Located on the west side, just minutes from the Strip at 7018 West Charleston, Pine Hollow wines are available for tasting by the glass, bottle, or for carryout. Peach lovers, pick up a bottle of the Warm Fuzzy, which is a sweet Chardonnay-style wine made with peach and apricots. Visit PineHollowWinery.com for their events, wine menu, and hours. That's PineHollowWinery.com.
KSHP North Las Vegas, 107.1 FM, 1400 AM, K29 6HP North Las Vegas, and online at kshp.com.
As a 3-time international award-winning restaurant, Joe's New York Pizza uses only the freshest and best available ingredients. From giant slices of hand-tossed pie to calzones, strombolis, fingers, and wings, Joe's serves all your favorites. Stop in for a slice at one of their 2 Las Vegas locations at Paradise and Harmon or South Las Vegas Boulevard, or you can check out their menu at joesnewyorkpizzalv.com.
The National Atomic Testing Museum is a national science, history, and educational institution that tells the story of America's nuclear weapons testing program at the Nevada test site. Located at 755 East Flamingo Road, just east of Paradise, the museum offers immersive, interactive experts for guests of all ages. The museum is Smithsonian certified and open 7 days a week. For more information, visit nationalatomictestingmuseum.org. That's nationalatomictestingmuseum.org.
When you bring your vehicle to Star Auto Care for maintenance, you'll have a team of professionals at your service. Every one of our technicians has been factory trained and master status certified to ensure that you receive the highest quality and most effective service. Star Auto Care is located at 3540 East Tropicana Avenue, just east of Pecos. Star Auto Care is confident in their prices and will match any mechanic located within 20 miles. Bring your vehicle in today and let Star Auto Care give you the peace of mind you deserve when you service your car. Visit them online at starautocare.us.
That's that good old EDC music. Hey everybody, welcome back to Pushing the Limits, live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. Hey, get into the music. If you're just now joining us, you kind of missed out on some really good interviews. We had Kara Jenkins for Las Vegas Mayor. We had teacher turned OnlyFans model Courtney Tillia. And now we have amazing PTO radio show sponsor Blake Guinn in the house.
That's the best sponsor you guys got.
Hey, I'm super excited to have you here. Happy Friday.
Hey, man, happy Friday. I just got notification. Jim Brown just passed.
Oh, no.
The legend.
In peace, Jim Brown, the legend, the myth, the amazing football player. Actually, I saw him live. I don't know, where was I at? I was at some event in Dallas, Texas, where he came. I forgot what it was, but yes, he was just an amazing guy to talk to, and just hear his story was honestly amazing. Like, it was great to just know what he's been through, what he struggled and overcame, and just how he was continuing to live his life for himself. So yeah, rest in peace, Jim Brown.
He's an icon, civil rights, everything.
Yeah, icon. So we're gonna get into this new segment right now where we're talking about a New York City Karen. I'm so tired of talking about these Karens because it's just irritating. But let's get into it. A Bellevue hospital employee has been accused of pulling out white woman's ears and trying to hijack a city bike that had allegedly already been paid for by a young black man. However, the employee claims that she paid for the bike, that we don't understand the true story, and that what we only saw in the video was just the aftermath of everything that actually happened before the video. Before you and I get into this conversation, Blake, I want to play some audio for you, and I want you to tell me what you think after listening to this. Go ahead.
Go, record it.
Help me! Please help me!
It's not your bike.
Please help me!
It's not your bike. It's not your bike.
Please help me! Help! Please get off me!
Hey, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Please get off me!
Yo, don't not take it, bro. Now you're not getting the bike, bro.
Help!
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
You're
Don't touch his phone. You're not touching his phone.
I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my hand.
My dude, stop. No, my dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please. She's just crying.
You're not crying. I got
Stupid.
I got your video.
Drunk.
Wait, you pulled it out? Hey, Hassan, you pulled it out? Hassan,
I don't give a fuck.
Hassan, you pulled it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
Reset it. I'm gonna pull it out on your account.
You are active.
I don't give a fuck.
Stop fake crying. Just fake crying. Stop fake crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I don't touch you.
Hold up.
Hey, stop touching me. Stop touching me.
Why don't you take this bike?
Stop touching me.
I will.
Exactly. So take it.
Fuck out of here.
So take it.
You're stupid ass. Fuck out of here. Dumbass. Your baby gonna come out with
Wait, how you stop crying? Not a tear came down, miss. Not a tear came down.
All right, Blake,
All right,
just ridiculous.
Okay, so
and a lot. But go ahead, tell me how you feel about
this.
this.
So I saw the video, and of course, my initial reaction is, "God dang it, here we go again. Another white, ugly woman that is always causing these issues." I mean, we look back, we go, you had the young black boy who was selling bottles of water, I think during COVID in an affluent white neighborhood, and you had another Karen, ugly white woman that was going in there and called the cops on him. You had the one kid who was bird watching. Another ugly white woman was watching.
Story after story after story.
So that was my initial reaction, and then I was like, man, I do exactly what society does.
Right.
I jumped the gun. What's the other side of the story?
Right.
Well, in this scenario, I was just reading some articles
Hey, Blake,
here.
real quick, you do have your live on and it's echoing. Make sure you turn your volume down.
Don't yell at me.
I was so soft with saying that, Blake. Jeez. Go ahead.
So now there's some articles that are coming out, and
you came with evidence.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you wasn't playing.
No.
You ready to go in on her? Oh, Karen, beware.
I'm not. Look, there's two sides of every story. So
Okay.
her lawyer's coming out and saying that she has receipts timestamped that it was her bike.
Yeah.
She's 6 months pregnant. So there's a bunch of information that's coming out. They're saying, why would she go and steal a bike and she's 6 months pregnant? But again, I mean, until all the details come out, it's still a little tricky situation. It doesn't look good at first glance, I'll tell you that much.
Right.
But if it's true where it was her bike and she had paid for it, and maybe there's a misunderstanding, but this is one thing I hate about society. Everybody sticks a phone in their face and starts recording without proper context.
Yeah. So my biggest issue with this is that we see time and time again white woman tears being used to really victimize themselves and put the African American male as the predator of the situation. As you heard in the video, she was screaming for help. She was trying to fake cry, and then she just stopped. And if you actually saw it, once I guess maybe this was an employee, a coworker of hers came and said, hey, we'll just get another bike, after he tried to defend her at first and tried to get the boys to walk away. Once he changed his mind and told her to get another bike, she just stopped. She's like, okay, yeah, I can do it. And that's just a clear display of white privilege and white woman tears. We have seen this in history so many times. Let's take a step back to the just horrendous situation that happened to Emmett Till. He was just an African-American boy. He was abducted, tortured, and lynched in Mississippi in 1955 at the age of 14, just because he was accused by a white woman named Carolyn Bryant. And I'm going to put her name out there.
I remember that story.
Because she lied. And then, she's still alive, and she came back years later, which, I mean, she said this probably like a few years ago, but obviously years later from that point, and said that it wasn't true. And she didn't go to jail. She's not suffering from it, but she used her white privilege and her white woman tears to get a young African-American man killed. And these things still happen in America today. Thank God those kids weren't put in danger, but who knows what would have happened if a policeman would have showed up and intervened. You never know. You don't want to say that he would have shot the kids, but these things do happen. And to me, this is just a despicable display of white women just trying to be victims for no reason. Personally, I believe, and tell me what you think, as white people, you guys have the privilege to walk around this earth and not have to worry about a darn thing. Yes, you guys have struggles just like anybody else, but you don't have to worry about your safety and security on earth like other ethnicities and minorities do. So for you to put yourself in a position like you're truly being hurt, in the video, even if there, like you said, there's two sides of the story, even if there is a different side of the story that we haven't seen and those boys were being done, which I listen, I doubt it, but hey, you never know until the full story comes out. You still put yourself in a position. You were pushing yourself on these kids. You were screaming, saying that, they're hurting your fetus. But lady, you're the one pushing on them. You could have simply been like, you know what? If this was, true on her side, these are some, like Brian would say, buffoons, idiots, just hood black boys. Moved to the side, got your own bike, and left. But you kept yourself in that situation because you knew what could have happened. What's your thoughts on that?
I actually 100% agree. So if, one, I'm Irish American, not white.
You are? I couldn't tell by the hair.
I figure everybody's starting to pick their own little classification. So that's what I'm at. I select other Irish American.
I literally thought that you were Spanish. I thought you were a Hispanic guy.
I'm like Canelo Alvarez.
Hey.
Look, in this scenario, one, I'm not in your position. I can't really put myself in your shoes and know what it's like to be discriminated against, whether that's on a daily basis or it happens, maybe once here or there. I don't know. You're right. I don't have to deal with that. I do have my own personal struggles, but everybody has their own different struggles, especially within society. So while the black community may have way more than, say, the white community, I believe that. I believe that to be true. In this specific scenario, the woman should have, whether she was right or wrong, she is surrounded by a group of people. And if she is pregnant 6 months, in my personal opinion, she should have stepped aside and simply said, fine, you take the bike, I'll get the next one. That's what should have happened. But then again, so could have the other side as well.
Okay.
I try to take, look, I'm not going to take any sides in this, but looking at the video, if that was me and there's a group of people and it's just me, I'm going to step aside.
Right.
Especially if you're pregnant.
Right.
Because now you're putting your baby into danger.
So what do you think about the alleged coworker who came in and tried to get the boys off and was like, hey, just let her get the bike? Do you think that his action was good for the situation, or you think he just added to the problem?
Well, so I don't know that side of the story, but I mean,
so just to tell you,
did he put hands on?
No. So he was a passerby.
Okay.
He was in scrubs, so this is why I say he was an alleged coworker. And he came up and was like, hey, let her get the bike. Let her get the bike. And the boys were like, no, this is our bike. We paid for it. And she started crying and kind of like looking back for help. She felt like she was in company.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden he's like, well, actually just get your own bike. Redock it and buy another bike. And she was like, oh, okay, cool. However, we do see time and time again that you are looking at individuals who see white women as victims and step up to their support versus seeing what actually happened. So do you think that he actually benefited the situation? Helped the situation by trying to tell the boys to let her get the bike? Or do you think he should have just initially stepped in and be like, hey, just come over here, we'll get you another bike? What's your thoughts on that?
So, one, I think that he probably was trying to help the situation.
Okay.
Again, you've got one white pregnant woman and a group of, I believe they were African-American?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I'm seeing that scenario, I don't know what's happening. I'm probably going to side with the woman on this one, knowing that she's pregnant. Because it's just
you would have sided with her too.
Not knowing the situation.
If you're walking by,
I would have said, hey, let's step aside.
Okay.
Right? My job in my life is I try to protect my wife, the women in my life. And so if I'm seeing a single woman out there, I'm going to try to step in.
Okay.
Get her away. Maybe, I don't know if there's danger or not. You don't know.
Right.
I would pull her to the side and try to diffuse the situation.
Okay.
That's how I would have attacked it. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to say.
No, let me ask you this. It's going to be funny. I'm sorry.
It's just like, if I'm looking at a group of people with one person.
You don't even know why I'm laughing, though. So it's funny because I'm from Chicago, and I've lived two different lifestyles. I'm from the hood of Chicago, but I also lived in the suburbs. And I have been around so many different people, and I have a diverse group of friends, even from different countries and islands now. And I always hear this. Well, I have a black friend, so I'm not racist. I don't count, Blake. I am not your black friend. I am not the token. But seriously, Blake, let me ask you this: how many black friends do you have?
I have quite a few.
You have quite a few.
Yeah.
And how have you met your black friends?
I've met them through school.
Okay.
Sports, work, community, networking events, charities.
Okay.
So, I mean, in our charity, we've got people from all different types of ethnicity.
Right. Before we move on, I do see we have people commenting live. If you want to join in on this conversation, on this conversation, please give us a call at 702-221-7283. We have a few minutes left. Again, that's 702-221-7283. If you're just now tuning in, we have our amazing sponsor, Blake Guinn, and a real estate agent extraordinaire in the studio right now, just kind of talking about social issues and this New York Karen situation. But back to you, Brian. Blake, excuse me, that's our co-host. Brian, I want to ask you this. Do you ever feel like there's a disconnect between you and your black friends? And be honest.
A disconnect in which way?
Socially. Of course, like even for us, like we talk about certain things, we connect on certain things, but I still have a lifestyle with other black people that may not be a lifestyle that you live. For example, you saw my Instagram one time, I went to some bar.
Okay, so if that's the disconnect, you go to some weird parties.
But see, you consider it weird and I don't. That's just my culture. But see, that could be a disconnect.
It could be.
So the reason I ask is because sometimes we're looking at our friends who are of different ethnicities and we say we understand them and we support them, but then we say stuff like that. Because I will say black people do take a step back and be like, oh, that's some white people shiz. Like, so I get it. And sometimes, Caucasian people say the same thing about African Americans, but I feel like the disconnect, and tell me if you agree or not, is that we say that's white people shiz as like, it may either be boring or it may be fancy or it just may be expensive, but we still want to do it. We still have a good time doing it. And I'm going to connect this all together. But on the opposite side, you guys say that and you wouldn't even step into our spaces.
Oh, 100%. If you would have invited me to that, whatever that was.
It was a day party. That's all it was. It was a brunch that turned a little too ratchet. Oh, okay. For our audience who is listening, let me just detail what happened because this man is being extra. I don't even know where I was at because I've been here for a month and a half, and I was at this day party. Where was it at? Mixer Lounge, and it was all copacetic. It was cool. Everybody was just dancing, but then it got to a point where the DJ started playing very sultry and sexy music, and some Greek boys were getting Greek in college, even though they've been out of college for a while.
Twerking and
picking women up and walking around with them. But that's just all fun and games. Let me ask you this. You said you wouldn't step in that space, but would you have felt uncomfortable, unsafe? What is it?
No, not unsafe at all.
So why wouldn't you want to step into that space? It's a fun time. I'm sure you do some of those things with your wife in private. Am I lying?
Megan.
That's what I'm talking about, Blake. And let me tie this all back together.
So I try to, like, what was happening in that certain scenario, I just wouldn't want to put myself into it because
you just watch.
I don't want to watch.
Well, why not? How does that affect you? Why does
it doesn't.
So, but why
but
does it make you
doesn't affect you
uncomfortable?
either.
Because it's fun. It's goofy.
Well,
it's like, hey,
but
they're turning up.
That's just not my type of fun.
Okay, but why not?
Because it's just not something I would enjoy.
So how do you feel that we could truly be friends? I'm going to tie this back together, but you just said that.
Well, because
how do you feel like we could truly be friends if I can step into your world and have a great time, but you won't even want to step into my world and just experience it?
I'm not saying I wouldn't want to. I'm just saying it's just not my cup of tea.
Okay.
Like if you were into skydiving, I would be like,
white people shiz. You see what I'm talking about?
I wouldn't do it though.
Right.
It's not my cup of tea.
Right. So
like there's certain things that I just don't want to put myself in certain situations.
Okay.
I try to keep a nice, clean public image, if you will.
What's wrong with that? That's not having a nice, clean public image. Look at. But again, that's because you all are different cultures. In my culture, it's like now if I was doing it, picking women up, which I do, and I did that in college, people be like, but we also understand it's a part of the culture. We're just having fun. There's no true harm had. But let me tie this all back together. The reason I say that is because a lot of times Caucasian people look at African American people, especially men, and just automatically think, ooh, ghetto, or ooh, I'm scared, or ooh, a
you need
threat.
To hang around different white people.
I mean, hey, but again, when you don't step into our world, you just see that. And so when there's other white people walking by and they're seeing a Karen or a Ken in danger, they never take a step back and say, let's look and see if the black people are correct. And my thing is, yes, this was in New York. yes, there are some ratchet and hood and just despicable black kids who just do the most, and they're just going through it, and you know they're learning. But why can't you guys take a step back and see that we're not a threat?
But see, so you take it as I'm viewing it as a full threat.
But that's what it is.
They could have been any type of race, and if there's a group,
but you wouldn't respond the same way. If it was white men, they wouldn't have responded the same. No, you may have, but I know for a fact
you're putting white people into a box.
I didn't because I said you wouldn't have, but
I would have. If that was my scenario, I would have stepped in regardless and tried to separate the situation. Okay, you have a group of young men. Let's leave race out of it. A group of young men in a confrontation with a woman who is 6 months pregnant.
Okay.
Does not matter the race. I would immediately step in and separate the situation.
Okay.
And then assess from there. Because no matter how you look at it, you can't say, look at this group of men and one woman. That the odds are not in her favor if something's happening. That's just how I would view it.
Right. I just know if this was the other way around, if this was a black boy surrounded by white men trying to get a bike,
but see, that's the thing.
you all would go to the white men.
But that scenario happens all the time.
And that's what I'm trying to understand.
But because they're white, you never hear about it.
Right. But my thing is, what I'm trying to get you to understand is a lot of times we see that black people are immediately seen as threats. And even if you're somebody who's an ally, and this is why I'm tying this all in, even if you do have black friends, even if you have been in the black experiences and spaces, you still revert to being white and protecting someone who looks like you. And that's why I feel like
she doesn't look like me. She's a woman.
But she's white.
How do you know she's white?
She looks like she's white.
Oh, she looks like she's white?
Right.
Oh.
You're not going to assume anything else. You're going to go off based on what she looks like. Am I wrong?
I feel like now you're assuming.
We're not assuming anything. We're stating facts, Blake.
Maybe she's not white.
You know what? I'll let you have it. All I'm trying to get you to understand is
I understand where you're coming from. I absolutely understand where you're coming. I do.
I'm black. I don't feel like you hear me. I'm kidding.
Look,
I'm kidding.
Look,
I'm not gonna play the race
like
card.
Brian
Totally
says,
kidding.
I don't have to be a certain race to know that things are wrong on that side.
Okay. All right, so look, we have a few minutes left, and I want to open up the phone lines, 702-221-7283. We have a caller, Fernando. What's up, man? Give us your thoughts.
Hey, guys. Yeah, good topic.
Thank you.
First off, Jamie, thanks for all the entertainment and your points of views and opinions. It's good.
Thank you, Fernando. I really appreciate that. That makes me feel great.
And full disclosure, I'm a mutt. I'm a Native American.
Okay.
I'm Mexican and Spanish.
All right.
Okay, and I live up in Sun City, which is Sun City, Summerlin, which is like 99.9% white or Jewish, and I have no problem with anybody up there, because I'm the only brown family up there.
Okay. Do you ever feel uncomfortable though? Do you ever feel like people are staring at you like, ooh, this brown family?
No, not at all. I mean, everybody's pretty to themselves, and they mind their business, and if they see me, I wave, and they wave. So.
Fernando, this is Blake. Thanks for calling in, man. So, I agree with you. So, I don't walk down the street and see race and just go, "Oh my God, look at this person." You don't. I don't have that in me.
Because
that
you
is
are
a majority
good person.
of people, though. But the majority of people in this country are good and don't think the way that you're portraying everybody.
Blake, let me tell you this. I have walked through Summerlin and I've gotten, who is this guy? I know I'm not a threat. I know I am very. What's the word I want to use?
Thick.
Blake, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. If you guys don't follow me on social media, you don't know why he said that. But I will say this. Not right now because, sun's out, guns out. But majority of the times I am white pleasing and people don't really see me as a threat even though I'm tall and
What does that
thick.
mean, white pleasing?
I'm not a threat. If I was somebody with dreads, if I was somebody with baggy clothing, or if I looked a certain way as an African American male, you're gonna just think, oh, he has a gun. He's gonna see. Even the caller understands he's a threat, even though he could be the sweetest guy on earth. But I will say, even though I'm white, welcoming, and pleasing, I still get stares like, why is he here? Even in Vegas, in such a diverse city, when I go in Spring Valley, when I go in Summerlin, people look at me like.
What are you doing here?
Yeah, right. Fernando, you understand. And so for me, I think a lot of times people don't realize that, Blake, you are a good person. You are a white man who sees past ethnicity and race, but it just happens. Hey, Fernando, thank you so much for calling in. I really appreciate you.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, guys, real quick.
Yeah.
For entertainment purposes, since Brian's not there, he always calls himself the plumber of threes. No, he's actually the drainer the drainer of testicles.
You know what? Listen, I'm gonna support my man Brian. Hey, Fernando, thank you so much for calling in. We have one more call before we go to break. Shannon, you're now tuned in and live on Pushing the Limits. What's up, Shannon?
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
My pleasure, man.
I just want to make a statement about what we're talking about. For me, I feel like, and I'm a black gentleman, middle aged.
Okay.
But and I'm born and raised in Mississippi.
Okay.
So I've seen a bunch of different scenarios of this playing out, and it's so familiar to me because for me, with the white lady that was pregnant, and then the four young black men that was there. Of course, for me, as your guest said, that he would immediately went to the lady.
Mm-hmm.
But then to turn around, if it was four white kids with the same lady, I see it play out where now they immediately go to the kids and they use
exactly,
and then they use the excuse of, hey, these are kids, you're an adult.
Yep.
So I'm gonna side with the kids right now. I'm gonna pull the kids to the side and get them to safety. So it's not about getting those black kids to safety. It's about getting the woman to safety. And like I say, if it was a different scenario with the white kids, now it's to get the white kids to safety.
Look, I understand that's a viewpoint that many people have. I disagree with it. I don't care if they were
That's
white.
your privilege, though.
But
That's
I don't.
your privilege.
But I'm
You
not.
don't see
I'm
it.
not looking at them as they're a bunch of kids. I'm looking at it as a group of men and one woman. I would go in and immediately try to separate the situation and protect the woman. At first, got to diffuse the situation because it's a group of men and one woman.
Right. Hey, for Shannon, thank you so much for calling in. We're just strapped for time, so I can't talk any more about that. But you know what? It was an absolute pleasure to have you on.
Are you
Blake.
kicking me out now?
No, I'm walking you out hand in hand. Blake, I love you, man. I'm super excited to have you here, and hopefully I can have you on my show when my new show starts.
Well, I better be.
Yes. For those who are just now tuning in, this was a segment with Blake Guinn about the NYC Karen. Blake, we have a few seconds left. Plug in who you are and how people can follow you.
Hey guys, so my name's Blake Guinn. I'm the #1 realtor on the top team at Keller Williams. Right now we're doing a special, and Jamie, I'll do it for you too right now. If you guys mention Pushing the Limits or Jamie's new show, we're doing $1,000 cash back on any type of real estate closing. That's whether you're buying, selling, or investing real estate. Give me a call. Blake Guinn, 702-540-3311.
What's that Instagram, Blake?
It's just Blake Guinn.
How do you spell Guinn?
Guinn. It's like the beer
Blake?
Guinness minus
How do you spell Blake?
ESS.
How do you spell Blake? Come on, Blake.
BLAKE.
All right, hey, thank you all so much for tuning in to Pushing the Limits. Next up, we have assistant account executive for the Vox agency who's going to come in and talk about everything Vegas and what to tune into and look out for this weekend as we head into EDC weekend. You're now listening to Pushing the Limits live on KSHP AM 1400 and now 107.1 FM.
Hey everybody, it's Brian Shapiro from Pushing the Limits. I want to tell you guys about Sahara West Urgent Care and Wellness. They're conveniently located on the southwest corner of Sahara and Jones. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. At Sahara West Urgent Care, they'll take care of all your healthcare needs. They offer routine services such as physicals, STD testing, car accident treatment, and work injuries. You name it, they do it. They have on-site x-ray, EKG, ultrasound, and labs. They treat chronic conditions such as asthma, blood pressure, diabetes, and more. They also offer general wellness exams, treatments such as testosterone enhancement and cancer screening. They're located on Sahara, 6125 West Sahara Avenue. Their number is 702-248-0554. And the best part, they accept most major insurances and affordable cash pay prices, office visits starting at just $95. And I'm also a client, so please give them a call, 702-248-0554.
Whether you're a corporate executive, on a family vacation, or just passing through, St. George Inn and Suites will meet your specific needs. It's conveniently located near restaurants, shopping, and movie theaters. St. George Inn and Suites offers a variety of room types, 2 fabulous pools and jacuzzis, a fitness center, a free full hot buffet breakfast, and laundry facilities. To make your booking, call 435-673-6661 or book online at stgeorgeinnhotel.com. You need to stop in Southern Utah? Make that stop at St. George Inn and Suites.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to stationcasinosports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the sportsbooks.
Do you want to take your business to the next level? Then join one of the fastest growing talk shows, Pushing the Limits. We have a wide range of sales packages that can fit your budget. Anything from on-site live remotes to in-studio interviews. Email Jamie at jamiedee@kshp.com. That's JAIMEDEE@kshp.com.
Buying or selling a home is a huge life event that requires guidance from an expert in the industry and community. My name is Blake Guinn. You may recognize my name as my grandfather was the best governor the state of Nevada has ever had. Growing up in Las Vegas, I've come to know this community intricately. Now, I am raising a family here as well, so I understand all the issues impacting our home and quality of life. As the top realtor for the #1 real estate team at Keller Williams, you can have confidence in my experience, knowledge, and track record. When it comes to buying, selling, or investing in real estate, choose a name you can trust and someone who understands the community you call home. Call Blake Guinn today and experience the difference of a trusted expert. 702-540-3311.
The Farmer's Burger from Farmer Boys. Beef, bacon, cheese, hand-smashed avocado, and fresh veggies. Best burger champ. That's how we drop the mic. Farmer Boys, farm food ain't fast food. Farmer Boys' new always crispy fries stay crispier and tastier all the way home. If they make it home. Sharing is caring. Farmer Boys, farm food ain't fast food.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pushing the Limits, live on KSHP AM 1400 and now 107.1 FM. If you're just now tuning in, we had Kara Jenkins for Las Vegas mayor in the first segment. Teacher turned OnlyFans model making over $1 million in the second segment, Courtney Tillia, and then amazing sponsor for PTO radio show, Blake Guinn, in the third segment. But now we're in the last segment of the day, bottom of the hour with, assistant account executive and publicist to the stars, Jevaugh Williams. How are you?
Hey, fabulous.
Welcome
How are you?
in. I'm doing great. Hey, is this your first radio show?
It is.
Oh, I'm popping your cherry. Welcome in,
you already
friend.
know.
Super excited to have you here. Before we get into the segment, I want you to just explain to our listeners, who are you and why are you going to be credible for this segment about what's happening in Vegas this weekend?
So, as you mentioned, I'm Jevaugh. I'm an assistant account executive. I'm a publicist. So, I work here in Vegas doing a lot of entertainment, attractions, things like that. So, I like to stay in tune with what's going on here.
Okay, so let's get into it then, Jevaugh. What's happening this weekend? What can we look out for? You know, I've been here for a month and a half. I'm trying to turn up.
Turn up.
Yes.
Well, as you know, EDC is this weekend, so we can get lit out there all day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I
Oh, it's
believe
a three-day event?
3-day event. Yep. It starts at 5 around that time, I believe. But
PM?
it's at 5 p.m.
Oh, that's good because it's hot right now.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
hot.
All night, stay out there, turn up. If you're into EDM, if you're into house, techno, all of that.
Like
all
that
of that. It's a vibe.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain to me about EDC before we go on to other events I heard it's super expensive to get in. How are the prices?
I heard it's pretty expensive as well. I don't know the prices off the top of my head, but I know
Okay.
the tickets are around $500 for a 3-day pass.
Oh,
But
for a 3-day pass?
Yeah,
That's not
but
bad.
I don't know if you can buy 1-day passes anymore, but they used to back in the day have 1-day passes, and that was the
Okay.
move. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have any of your clients that are going to EDC at all this weekend?
I don't. But
don't?
if people are looking for things to do outside of EDC or before or after, pop into Area 15. There's DJ sets in the wall, in the
Oh,
portal,
really?
tons of things to do there. So I would definitely recommend going there.
Okay, so do you have is like EDC also kind of branched out to other areas like Area 15 and on the Strip?
No, they're actually just specific to the Speedway. So they're going to
Okay.
be at the Speedway. It's a huge, huge area for people to explore.
Oh, so that's a festival grounds.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Yeah, so it's
Okay.
at the Speedway. So
That
it's
makes
lit.
sense. All right, so what else is going on this weekend?
Tons of stuff. There's a foodie festival, Jamaican food festival
Ooh,
in the
tell us
Arts
about that.
District. Yeah, it's on Sunday. There's a celebration at the Legacy Golf Resort at Circa. That's tomorrow. I'm looking forward to
Wait,
that.
what's that?
So they're celebrating their new club that they're starting. So they're basically going to have a bunch of wine tastings tomorrow from 2 to 5 p.m. It's on like the 65th floor. Circa, it's lit. You can go to the pool before.
Okay.
It's a good time.
Is it free to get in or?
I believe the tickets are a little pricey. They're like $150, but I think it's worth it
You got
because you
that
get to try
Publicist pass,
25.
don't you?
You know, try to get in there.
Wait, you get a +1? I want to come.
I can get you in. I can try.
Oh, let's do it.
I'll
Let's
let
do
you
it.
know.
Okay, what else is going on?
Tons of things. We got the comedy club too. I definitely love hitting up Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. There's lots of comedians. As you know, Lunell's there on Sunday.
Okay, so she's gonna be here this weekend.
Yeah, she'll be there Sunday
Yeah, I
night.
went to her show. Was it Monday? You were
Yeah.
there too, right? That was a good time.
She's
I really enjoyed it.
hilarious.
She's hilarious, and I love the fact that Lunell was like, "Chad, I'm gonna sit down. I've been standing up for y'all this entire time. I'm gonna do stand-up, sit-down comedy today."
Like we're done. Yeah, and still have me rolling on the floor, sitting down. So
Listen,
yeah,
crying. And I wasn't even drunk. I didn't have not a nan sip of liquor, and I had a great time.
giggled my
Yes.
my tail off.
Okay, what else can we expect to do this weekend?
Ooh, let me think. Me when I don't have a lot. I mean, I honestly. Oh, I know. Elenium is performing at Omnia. So Elenium was at Omnia tonight, and then last night, and then Martin Garrix is tonight, and then tomorrow night. I don't remember what DJ is there tomorrow, but I know Omnia is like the spot to be. If you're not going to EDC, you can kind of get those techno beats there. So
Okay, I appreciate that. You know,
Yeah.
I want to move on to a different part of the topic where I want you to discuss, as a publicist and an assistant account executive for the Vox agency, you already have to go to so many events because that's what you do for work. Does it ever get boring for you?
honestly, at times it can be. I wouldn't say boring. It can get a little draining, but I feel like what you make of the event is what it's going to be. So if
Okay.
you go into it positive and you're looking at it like, hey, I want to go here and have a good time, meet some cool people, I don't know, explore something in the city. For me, I've grown up here my entire life, so now I'm finally exploring things that I've never got to see before. So
Right.
it can be pretty fun. It
And
can
you're a
be
native of
draining.
Vegas.
I actually am from Alaska, but I've
You're
been
from
here.
Alaska?
Yeah, I am.
What?
Yeah, I was born there, military family, so ton
Okay.
of things there. But I moved here when I was like 2, so this is all I know. Vegas is
Okay.
my place.
Okay, so you work with a lot of great people. Detail for us who you work for.
Oh, so work with a lot of different clients, get an opportunity to work with a lot of cool people. So some fun experiences here that I like to suggest and recommend to a lot of people is the Link Promenade, the High Roller is pretty fun. Lots of things to go down there. There's a Royal Pub Crawl that I like to recommend where you can
I
get
wanna go on a-
5 drinks, 5 different spots. The I Love Sugar, Jimmy Kimmel's Comedy Club. You get to stop at a couple other bars down there. It's lit. You get
Ooh, I wanna
you get
go
well
out.
cocktails. You get to walk down the promenade. You can hear some music. Just vibe out. It's really a vibe.
Okay. So we have a lot of audience members who are listening in right now who actually don't live in Vegas. And so this may not be as interesting to them as those who are locals here. But actually, I want you to do us a favor and sell Vegas. Why is Vegas the place to be right now?
Because where else can you go where you can wake up at 10 a.m., go and enjoy a brunch, and then turn up and walk through the city with a drink in your hand, go to a pool party.
You can
and
walk
then-
through the city with a drink in your hand? That's legal?
Yeah.
Oh, it
you
is?
can literally walk around.
Where
I
am I
didn't
then?
realize that wasn't legal until I went somewhere else.
That's a
and they
Coke,
were like-
Justin. Not that Coke. My bad. Go ahead.
No, you're good. You're good. I never realized. I never realized how much I have Vegas instilled in me until I went somewhere else and I tried to take my drink out and they said you had to throw it away, and I was like, "What? What's going on here?"
Yeah, I
But
thought that was only legal in New Orleans. When I went to New Orleans, I had a ball
Yeah.
walking around with that. Okay, so explain more too, though. Like, I just moved here. Why would I want to stay? I mean, there is a lot to do, but it just seems so party.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think that Vegas is just party town only, and I
Yeah.
think like there's other things to do here. There's places to explore in nature, Red Rock, Mount Charleston, like Lake Mead is coming back. The water levels are rising. There's like Hoover Dam rafting tours. Like there's a ton of out of the box things to do in Vegas that people just don't know about. And so I try to tell people like there's things you can do here that if you're not the party goer, you can still have a good time.
Right. Hey, I am opening up the phone lines right now, 702-221-7283. If you want to call in and ask Jevaugh, who is a, like I said, publicist extraordinaire, and figure out, why Vegas, what you should do when you come in and what's going on. Let's talk about that with him. I want to know also too, when you're out here just being who you are, do you ever feel like you have to put on because of who you are as a publicist?
I feel like it can be tricky to walk that line of like who you are as a person and who you are in your career, but I feel like I'm a person that I like to blend both. So I don't like to water down my personality. I'm kind of the same in both. And I feel like that helps me establish better connections. So honestly, that's a piece of advice to everybody. Like, don't let the corporate world water down who you are.
That's good. You know what? I want to have an honest moment. My mom was just like, learn your city, man. Ooh, I want to go face. Mom, I'm here to learn. Jevaugh is the person to go to. Jeez, Mom, let me enjoy myself.
Like, let up. Come
Yes,
out here and turn
I
up
am
with us.
thirsty. I want to know what to do.
Yes.
Listen, I'm telling you, people mistake me as this party guy who knows everything all the time. But even Jevaugh, I be working.
Yeah.
You ask me out to
and
stuff, and
busy.
I be like, hey, I can't go. I got to talk to veterans. I got to go at this red carpet event.
Gotta host a gala,
I got to host.
gotta-
Right.
We're
Like,
outside.
So
Come on.
I got to be thirsty. I want to know what's going on. I'm trying to turn up when I come to Vegas. Okay, so my birthday is actually June 1st. Yes, I'm super excited. That's in 2 weeks. And I want to know.
Wait, so you're a Cancer?
No, I'm a Gemini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fitting. That's very fitting. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
yes,
you
wait,
off.
what are you?
I'm an Aquarius.
Oh, that's why we get along so much.
Yeah.
Okay,
Air sign.
cool.
Wait, what's your sign?
Yeah, Justin, what's your sign?
Libra.
Libra.
We got air signs all in here. That's lit.
I
love it.
I'm not into
I
zodiac
love
signs
it.
that much. But talk to me about how can somebody come out here and enjoy themselves safely and still turn up?
I would say rule number 1 is pick a good resort to stay at. Make
Okay.
sure you stay somewhere that's good quality, good rooms, nice and safe. But I think the biggest thing for me is like honestly resorts back to like 5-year-old buddy systems. Like do not do things alone here. If you're coming here for the first time, bring a friend, bring someone, stay with them, make sure people know where you're at. But I think honestly, I like to avoid the strip. So
Wait, why?
I don't really
I
like
hear
the
that
strip.
a lot from a lot of the locals.
Yeah, it's fun and it's good for travelers. I definitely recommend it. But as a local, sometimes it can be hard to find it interesting there. So I prefer to go downtown or like hidden gem spots, Summerlin, downtown Summerlin. So it just depends on what you're looking to do. But I just say bring friends out, have someone that's going to match your vibe, because you don't want to come out here with a party person, but you're trying to vacation and relax and go hiking. So make sure you bring out someone that's going to match your vibe.
That makes sense. I think a lot of times people come to Vegas or they look at Vegas as just the strip, but there's so much more outside of the strip.
Yeah.
Can you detail for us what is there to do in the inner city of Vegas?
I mean, let's remove from the strip. You can go to downtown Summerlin. There's a nice shopping area, lots of restaurants down there. Red Rock is over there. I love.
It's a casino, right?
Love. It's actually not. Red Rock is a casino, but Red Rock is also like a mountain area. So you can go hiking. There's like a bunch of trails over there. You can go on the inside of the mountain. You can go. It's a state park, so you can go inside or you can go outside. I go there a lot. It's really, really nice. I mean, not that nice now because it's kind of hot. So if you do go super early in the morning, but. Yeah, I recommend that. I mean, Mount Charleston's another good vibe too if you want to just be outside and explore a little bit more. And then also there's a Hoover Dam rafting adventure which I don't think a lot of people know, but you can actually ride.
Rafting adventure here?
Yeah, there's a rafting tour in Hoover Dam. It's on the Black Canyon. It's private access to the Hoover Dam. It's the only tour that you can do on the Hoover Dam.
Oh, I might have to change my birthday plans up then because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now we do have water parks here. I did. That's on my birthday list to go to Cowabunga here, but I think you said off air there's a second water park here.
Yeah, there's Wet and Wild. I haven't been in years, but yeah, the Wet and Wild is pretty nice, and Cowabunga's newer, so they probably have a little bit more attractions and things there. But yeah, both of them are good spots to hit up. Total different sides of town, so wherever you're at, you can find one.
Okay.
Cowabunga or Wet and Wild is now Cowabunga Canyon or something like that. They changed it.
So they merged.
See, look.
They merge basically.
That's
so
why there's two locations.
There's two locations now.
Gotcha.
Basically.
So that other location used to be Wet and Wild.
Okay. So my biggest issue here is that I haven't experienced the extreme heat yet. And
buckle up.
Right. Even going to Sapphire Pool and Day Club, I have such an amazing time. And I want to get you out there for pushing the limits. But when I'm drinking those drinks, I get so dehydrated so quick. My energy's already depleted, and I feel like I can't even go on. And I don't think it's anything to do with age. It's just hot out here.
It is hot as a mug out here.
Yeah.
My go-to thing is I'm always with water. I mean, you see me in here.
Yeah.
I do not go anywhere without water because
the same
can't
water you
live.
offered me, even though you brought it in Starbucks.
Hey, you know, I have to be drenched up.
Right.
But, no, it's hot. Be ready. Be prepared. You got to get your windows tinted. You got to stay inside. You got to keep your air blasting.
Right.
Only way you'll make it. But even as a native, you never get used to this heat. Like every time it comes back, you're like, what the heck?
Okay. So be honest. You do travel a lot, and you just recently went to New York. And I want you to be truly honest. When you're seeing other entertainment districts outside of Las Vegas, do they compare? Are they better? Are they worse? What's your thoughts on that?
I definitely think when you go somewhere outside of Vegas, there's a little bit more variety in what you can experience. Here, it can be super heteronormative at a lot of the clubs.
Okay, wait, take a step back. What do you mean?
There's not, I would say, I wish there was a larger gay scene here in Las Vegas. I wish there was more things to do for people outside the box, if you're just not wanting to do the typical party scene. But I do think going to New York opened my eyes to so many different possibilities in the arts and the different things to do there. So I think Vegas does compare, but I liked New York.
Now,
I wanted to stay in New York a lot longer than I could have.
Right. Let's talk about this, though, because the gay community doesn't get as much of a highlight here as the straight community, because majority of things here are heteronormative. And you have the Strip. And I say this a lot because I really wish that people who are promoters and who are these club owners truly understand a lot of their rules are socially discriminatory. I see a lot of things that are pinpointed to black people. Dress code, and gay people. And one thing you could say that you know to be true is I love a good two-piece. I love a good two-piece. I love shorts. I don't like being in spaces where I'm hot and also super pushed up against another person, because a lot of these events here are super packed.
General admission.
Yes. And my thing is, I when I came for my birthday 2 years ago, I was told that I couldn't wear a specific two-piece because it doesn't fit the aesthetic. And I was told I couldn't wear Jordans. And I pushed back like, why? And he was like, again, it doesn't fit the aesthetic. And my counterpart was a Caucasian man. He was wearing Skechers. You're telling me I can't wear Jordans, but he can wear Skechers.
Like, what is the rule here?
What's the difference? And I feel like the biggest thing that you have to realize is that Vegas is a community that brings in people from all around the world. And a lot of times, people find out what to do when they're here. So people aren't going online on Eventbrite like locals do and social media and seeing beforehand
and
what to do.
Planning their outfit.
And they're like, hey, it's hot.
I'm ahead.
And so my thing is, you should accept people's culture and how they want to dress. I truly believe that, yes, if you have a specific dress code and you want to fit a certain aesthetic, you should, especially if it's suit and tie. But if this is just a party, a hip-hop club, an EDM club, what is shorts? Like, not swim trunks, not athletic shorts,
no
not
flip-flops.
no flip-flops. That makes sense, but an outfit that's still cute. I really believe that it's these certain stipulations are to keep a certain crowd out. And I feel like that's a little unfair. And
it can be very elitist, too.
Very.
My thing with a lot of clubs and why I like to go to more of like lounges is because I don't like the elitism of tables and bottle service and all that. It's just,
but you know what? I do push back to a lot of people about that, because I've lived in 9 major cities so far. And as I continue to live in big cities that are huge in entertainment like Las Vegas, there's no difference between bars, lounges, and clubs. They're all super loud, super close proximity when you're to other people. And it's drinks, turn up. So, and a lot of times, I think the only difference between a lounge and a club is that, there's seating, but you're paying a lot for these seatings. But I want you to detail, because I don't want to bag too much on Vegas. There are a lot of ways to party out here for free and also get tables for free. Explain how that works.
Well, the tables for free, not too sure, but I know club promoters are the way to go. If you want to get in somewhere for free, or if you want to get access to somewhere, especially as a male, because males usually got to pay a lot to get in. So I had to fight through that. But club promoters, hit up the club promoters. They will get you in for free.
How do you find them?
You can honestly find them on Eventbrite. You can find them on the websites. I know if you kind of go through Instagram, a lot of club promoters are on there. Like if you see the event flyer, look at who's tagged on the flyer or who's in the comments, like in the pinned comments. That's usually how you'll find your promoters, and they'll give you the deals. They'll give you a full schedule of where to go. And then downtown, I always recommend like downtown Las Vegas is really fun if you want to be like affordable.
Hey, Justin
and
agrees.
have a good time. See, Justin knows what's up.
Yes.
Downtown is lit, and like even on the weekends during the week, it's fun.
So explain to me. I want to take a step back. I do have a question because I am live on air, but also live on YouTube and commenting at the same time. So I do have a question from one of the commenters, Mercy. But before we get into that, let's take a step back. You did say that you are into the gay scene and you enjoy doing that, but it's not a lot of spaces for you there. Do you believe, one, that the gay scene here is fun, and two, do you feel like it's welcoming to Black people?
Ooh,
And be
we're getting
honest.
a little into it.
Yeah, let's get into it because you're a credible publicist, and I want you to tell the truth.
Let's get into
This is how we see change.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think there is a lot to do here. I will say there, like Fruit Loop. I'm sure everyone's heard of it.
Wait, wait. Jevaugh, what you say? Fruit Loop?
Yes, Fruit Loop.
That's what the gay area is called.
Yep. The circle of gay bars. Circle of gay bars and clubs. Fruit
It's
Loop.
called the Fruit Loop. Oh, I mean, if you want to take back the word, I support it, but
Yeah, but that's what the locals call it. The locals call it Fruit Loop, and it's fun. There's good times there, but it can be challenging to be in those spaces where you feel like I don't see a lot of people that are like that look like me or that are my complexion or that vibe the way that I vibe. So I think I would love to be somewhere in Vegas. I would love to find the house scene. I know there's like a underground kind of house scene here. I haven't heard about it yet. I know.
I mean, we went to an event last night together. I know I had to separate because backstage, but that was house music, right?
Yeah, it was house. It was a little bit upbeat.
Tell everybody where we were last night.
So last night we were at XS, which was at Encore.
Where's it at?
Part of the Guinn on the Strip.
Okay.
And it's pretty lit there. They're really nice. I like that club. Out of all the clubs, I know I kind of just said the heteronormative clubs aren't my vibe,
Right.
but out of all of those, that would probably be my top one. So.
Okay, so let's talk. This house music? I was like, what just happened?
Hey.
I was like, we got a few more minutes left. This is what I'm talking
my vibe.
about. That's
This
a
is my
good
vibe right here.
Yes. Okay. So talk to me about this though, because I want to get. Actually, no. Let me say that for a second. Let's go back to the gay community. I feel as though a lot of times, and this is why I feel like a lot of the clubs here are social discriminatory. They don't play hip hop.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that they think people are gonna fight.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that they think it's gonna bring the wrong crowd in. But I've been and you've been with me to a lot of these Caucasian spaces where they're playing EDM or house or just pop. They fight. They're sloppy drunk, throwing up in their corner, falling out. Why do you think they're not appealing to the Black people? I mean, when you look at the Strip, it's a lot more Black people sometimes than there are white people.
Yeah, it's like there's a wide mix of people, but the audience demographic or the audience targeting that they're doing is not fitting. Like there's so many people, like you said, of color and Black people on the Strip, but it's like I can only go to Dre's and enjoy like.
Oh, but they be bugging though.
Yeah, and
trying to get
just,
into Dre's.
I
It's a
don't-
good time.
It's fun, but once you get in, it's fun. But it's the getting in part
process.
was like. So I just wish that there was a little bit more love for the hip hop culture, and I don't know how we can get that started back up, but maybe right here advocating for it.
All right, so we have a few more minutes left. I want to get to this question from Mercy. She says, "What resort would you recommend?"
Oh, I would recommend. I have 3. My top 3 resorts are Vdara and Aria because they're both non-smoking.
Okay.
No cigarette
I'm sorry.
smell.
The cigarette smell. I can't.
No, that's the chop for me. So
Yeah.
for me, when I do staycations, Vdara and Aria, those are the spots. If you want somewhere a little bit more central located, the Venetian is nice too.
Okay. So we're pretty much out of time. I had a great time having you here, Jevaugh. Thank you for stopping by and just being our extraordinaire and everything Vegas. We talked about the real, we talked about the exciting, and we still promoted Vegas at the same time while telling them, hey, you should probably step up as it pertains to the social discriminatoriness that you have here. Let people know how they can support you and how they can find you.
If you want to find me, all of my information is on my socials on Instagram at Jevaugh with 2 H's. So yeah, JEVAUGHHN on Instagram. You'll find all of my things there.
Yes, that's Jevaugh, the assistant account executive for the Vox agency and publicist extraordinaire. Y'all, it was such a pleasure to have you all listening into Pushing the Limits live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. For those who are just now tuning in and who have seen me on the show for a while, unfortunately, this is my last time on the show. Yeah, Brian is going to be doing the show with Guy David starting June. My birthday's June 1st, but I will be headlining my own show, the Jamie D Show.
Hey, it's lit.
Yes, starting in a week and a half. super excited. I want you all to continue to support Brian because Brian is amazing. I am so grateful for you, Brian. I want to leave you a message real quick. You are such an amazing person who has helped me get to where I am today, and I'm so grateful to have been mentored by you. I'm wishing you the absolute best, Brian. You're going to continue to kill it, and I know I'm going to see you down the road because we're still at KSHP together. We're fam, Brian. I love you, man. I appreciate you, and I hope you're having a great time. But yeah, like I said, the Jamie D show will be starting in a week and a half, so make sure you tune in live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM. I love you all. Have a great weekend and stay safe.
Turn up.